Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bill. We're going to be in Dungeon World for this video. I'm going to go over fronts in this video. We're going to, this will be one of many videos in this chapter. I'm going to break this chapter up into a lot of smaller videos. But the first video, we're going to talk about what are fronts. And to do that, I'll need to read about 2 pages of text to you guys. Let's see what fronts are and how they're used. Fronts are secret tomes of GM knowledge. Each is a collection of linked dangers, threats to the characters specifically, and to the people, places, and things the characters care about. It also includes one or more impending dooms, the horrible things that will happen without the character's intervention. Fronts come from, of course, from fighting on 2 fronts, which is just where you want the characters to be, surrounded by threats, danger, and adventure. Fronts are built outside of active play. They're the solo fun that you get to have between games, rubbing your hands and cackling evilly to yourself as you craft the foes with which to challenge your PCs. You may tweak or adjust your fronts during play. Who knows when inspiration will strike? But the meat of them comes from preparation between sessions. Fronts are designed to help you organize your thoughts on what opposes the players. They're here to contain your notes, ideas, and plans for the opposing forces. When you're in a bind, your fronts are where you're going to turn to and say, "Oh, so that's what I should do." Consider them an organizational tool, as inspiration for present and future mayhem. When you're building fronts, think about all the creepy dungeon denizens, the rampaging hordes, and the ancient cults that you'd like to see in your game. Think in broad strokes at first, and then as you build danger into your fronts, you'll be able to narrow those ideas down. When you write your campaign front, think about session-to-session trends. When you write your adventure front, think about what's important right here and right now. When you're done writing a few fronts, you'll be equipped with all the tools you'll need to challenge your players and ready to run Dungeon World. When to make fronts. You'll make your campaign front and first adventure fronts after your first session. Your campaign front may not be complete when you first make it. That's great. Just like blanks on a map, unknown parts of your campaign front are opportunities for future creativity. After that first session, you'll also make some adventure fronts. 1 or 2 is usually a good number. If you find yourself with more adventure fronts, consider leaving some possible fronts as just notes for now. Campaign and adventure fronts. At their core, all fronts contain the same components. They sort and gather your dangers into easy-to-use clusters. There are, however, 2 different kinds of fronts available to you. On the session-to-session level, there are your adventure fronts. These fronts will see use for a few sessions each. They're tied to one problem and will be dealt with, or cast aside as the characters wander the dungeon or uncover the plot at hand. Think of them as episodic content today on Dungeon World. Tying your adventure fronts together is your campaign front. While the adventure fronts will contain immediate dangers, the orcs in Hargrosh Pass say the campaign front contains the dark god Grishgar, who drives the orcs to their pillaging. The campaign front is the unifying element that spans all the sessions of your Dungeon World game. It will have slower burning portents, but they'll be bigger in scope and have a deeper impact on the world. Most importantly, they'll be scarier if they're allowed to resolve. When a danger from an adventure front goes without resolution, you'll have to make a decision. If the danger is something you'd like and feel has a place in a larger world of your game, don't hesitate to move it to the campaign front. You're able to make smaller dangers that went unresolved into bigger dangers someday later on. You can move dangers from the campaign fronts to an adventure front if they've come to bear too. So far, all that's pretty interesting. Hopefully that clarifies the fronts and how they're used in a general sense without going into details, the details they give you on how to create them and everything else, which will be another video. Reading it again gives me a clearer idea of how I should be using them and how I could use them for other games like D&D, Call of Cthulhu, and so on. Let me know what you all thought about this video in the comments below. Until we all game again, guys.